Hi, welcome to our Sunday meditation. Today is the 29th of November. The theme for our messages on Sundays, it's all about the hardships, the difficulties that we face in life. As we say here in France, la vie n'est pas un fleuve tranquille. Life is not a very easy river, easy river. It's not easy to navigate in this river. I would like to read with you in Philemon, verse 6. I pray that your partnership with us in the faith may be effective in deepening your understanding of every good thing we share for the sake of Christ. Your love has given me great joy and encouragement because you, brother, have refreshed the hearts of the Lord's people. Your love has given me great encouragement. So, what do you do when you are going through a time of tribulation? When you are sent to prison by your own people? What do you do when you are in prison? What do you do when you are suffering? Well, Paul, when he was in prison towards towards 60 or 61, 62, he sent letters to different people and to different churches. He wrote to them to encourage them and actually to tell about the part they had to play in the gospel for the sake of the gospel of Jesus Christ. And that's something that you can do as well. As you go through a difficult time, you think of others, you think of what other people are going through, and you write to them, you pray for them. Paul did that for the church in Philippi, to the Colossian church, to the Ephesian church, and to Philemon. He wrote to them, and some people believe that he also wrote to the church of Laodicea, because he talks about a letter sent to that church, but we don't know. We haven't got any news of that letter. We have never seen it. So he wrote, and he might even have written to more people, but we don't know now. So when he wrote to Philemon, in a Christian from the that was part of the Colossian church, he is encouraging this brother by saying, "Your love has given me great joy." He was appreciating the love that man had for him, a man who played an important part in the life of that church. When he wrote to the Philippi church, he says this in verse 3 of chapter 1, and we're going to read into verse 5. I thank my God every time I remember you. In all my prayers for you all, I always pray with joy because of your partnership in the gospel from the first day until now. Perseverance. He's praising God for the life of this amazing church that was so far from Rome, over 1,000 kilometers away from Rome, and they were very faithful, even sent someone to encourage Paul. They even sent some money to Paul when he was in prison. He's encouraged them. I pray for you, and my heart is full of joy because I know of your partnership in the gospel from the first day until now. The importance to persevere, to work for Christ from the first day to the last day. So that's something that you can do. Encourage people. Have your joy, have a heart full of joy for what God is doing in someone else's lives, in some other people's lives. Rejoice in that. What an amazing thing to do. Instead of just complaining because of what we are going through, and we know that we're not living in a very easy time. It is hard. Some people is calling it again an annus horribilis, a horrible year, a terrible time. But even in times like this, I don't know where you are now. Maybe You could even be in prison now. Some people are in prison for the gospel, like Paul was. But even at a time like this, we can rejoice in what God is doing in the world, because God is doing lots of great things in the world. During this time, we had some people contacting us over the internet, writing to us and telling us how they've been seeking God. They've been wanting to hear about the message of the gospel. People are searching, and we should be there to encourage those people, even though we are going through a difficult time as well. Colossians chapter 1, verse 6, this is another prayer that Paul did for a church that that has come to you, the gospel that has come to you. In the same way, the gospel is bearing fruit and growing throughout the whole world, just as it has been growing among you since the day you heard it and truly understood God's grace. The importance to understand God's grace. And again, Paul is rejoicing in the fact that these people, they have understood God's grace. Philemon had a participation in the gospel, and so did the people in the Philippi church, and in this church as well, the Colossian church. They all participated in the gospel, and Paul was rejoicing in that. It is amazing to think that the great apostle was depending on these people's fellowship and love. He's telling them, we participate, we work together. You are so far from Rome, but we are working together. Your love has given me great joy. He's telling Philemon, your love has given me great joy. Are we rejoicing in someone else's love for Christ, for us? Are we rejoicing because the gospel is growing all over the world? Are we rejoicing because right now people are coming to Christ? Are we praying even though we are in need of prayer? You might have lost someone over this period of great tribulation. You might have lost your job. But know that it's not in vain. Your perseverance is not in vain. So as God has filled your heart with His grace, pray for others as well. So they will be encouraged as well, and they will get to know the grace of God. God bless you.